Notre Dame 51, Navy 14. Fighting Irish, number 12th ranked team in the country according to the AP poll, blowing out. Tim, I remember in that preview video we did just a couple nights ago, posted it on Friday afternoon. You're like, man, I want to pick the blowout. You didn't pull the trigger on it. You should have. Notre Dame, Navy just on a different day. Maybe it's a tighter game, but they did not do themselves any favors at all. What was your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, like I said the other day, I didn't pick 50 points because I didn't want to jinx it. But you watch Navy, and I saw a lot of really bad football. And as long as Notre Dame didn't come today and wet the bed and play horribly, I just thought they were just going to steamroll. They did. If anything, I was more surprised how Navy really didn't try doing ball control, some. Obviously the turnovers, hurt them, but no, it was a great overall win. It's a big win because the entire country, as we said on our live show and then on our prediction show, like everyone's waiting for Notre Dame to stub their toe for a second time just so they don't have to talk about them. I think that's more true today than even before. So it's a heck of a win. Great win. Notre Dame came out. I think the ranking of Navy, kind of like 2019, got them hyped up going on the road, and those guys played their butts off. It was a heck of a first half, man. They got the extra possession off the muff punt, capitalized on that. So big win for the Irish. Got a nice bye, back-to-back ACC games, and then back-to-back road trips to end this season, and we just keep moving along.
What impressed you the most from a Notre Dame standpoint, Tim? Any position groups, players, anything in particular?
Obviously, Love is Love. He's absolutely outstanding. Obviously that huge touchdown run, which is, they've been doing this the last couple of weeks. It's going back to that A&M where we said it was a draw, even though the whole entire action's a draw. It's a total dive fake to suck people up. The O-line, catching guys on pass pro, and he just takes it to the house. Riley Leonard, he actually makes me laugh because he just reminds me of some spaz playing beach football, running around sometimes with his head chopped off, right? He throws beautiful balls and then he throws them in the dirt. He scrambles right into the damn sack. It's like, I'm sitting there like, dude, you're a running quarterback. All you have to do is go back on the sack, the one after they got the turnover and they missed the field goal. There is a walk-in touchdown for him just to scramble in and score, and he's trying to scramble to save his life. But he's crazy because he's going to drive you nuts at times. And I'm thinking of a playoff game, But no, it was a solid win. Notre Dame probably 200 some odd yards rushing, I'm sure, and Love was outstanding. Riley Leonard scrambles.
265.
He's just a better athlete than Navy. So, which again goes back to some of the film I watched. I thought the O-line was really good with protection. I want to give kudos Price to not get a lot of carries, but man, did he pick up some linebacker blitzes today. So that was nice to see. Faison, hell, we haven't talked about this dude since the Sun Bowl. How nice was it to see him? Obviously, he had the one big one even called back. So on the holding call by Wagner. So it was nice to see him in the action. Really good. Nice seeing him run around. No, it was just an efficient game. I think Notre Dame's best players played that way. They were mentally in the game, very aggressive in that first half, got the extra possession, like I said, with the muff punt, and just took it straight to, and basically it was a +2 when you look at it, because you don't even count Navy's last drive. So, and then Riley only gets one drive in the third quarter, right? And they go right down, score, and Navy starts chewing up clock to get the hell out of there. So it was a nice win. It really was. And we've been talking about this, since NIU, how Freeman has never won 6 in a row. Well, damn it, he won 6 in a row today, Mike. And I don't see who's going to stop him until they get to the playoffs. They just don't. I think this is it's a solid football team. I don't know how elite they are because on the outside, the perimeter, I'm just going to stick to those points. But they got some unbelievable athletes in some other spots. And, I'm I'm just excited to get back in to see them play against Florida State, get a night game,
Yeah.
night game there. So and just keep moving this thing along. So that's my opinion on this team. Lastly, holy moly, how about Billy Schroff came back and just played his absolute butt off today at left guard. So
Yeah.
it was
We'll
really
talk about that.
yeah, it was really nice seeing him in there. But overall, I thought it was an efficient win, and the guys did what they had to do today.
Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content if you are new here. And after the show's over and you still have that itch for more Notre Dame coverage, go to blueandgold.com. It's your home for all things Notre Dame football and recruiting coverage. It's one of my favorite tweets in a while, Tim. I thought this was great. Average Notre Dame hater says, I've got Navy plus 13.5. They're legit. Then Notre Dame blows out Navy, and that same person says, whatever, it's just Navy. Tweets blowing up. It's definitely one of those. It's 100% true, Tim.
Yes, that is true. It's like, yeah, I mean, you could beat Navy 78-7, and you could be like, yeah, it's Navy. You should, correct? You got better athletes, as we saw today. Outside of the Navy quarterback, that dude is fast as hell. But that is it. The times Navy is hung around and whatnot because you allow them to hang around. And just like last year in Dublin, bam, Notre Dame just storms the hell out of them. Notre Dame stormed them in the first half, obviously in Freeman's first year, and allowed them to get into the game, got mojo, made that a close game in the fourth quarter. The 2019 game obviously was ranked versus ranked. Notre Dame put up 52 on them. So that's what you do in these games. You allow Navy to hang around, it's going to be a stressor. You come out and you take care of business and you treat them like Navy. No disrespect, but you know what I'm talking about. Athlete on athlete, and you hammer them. That's what you get, is what we saw today, much like last year in Dublin, much like 2019 when it was ranked on ranked, and Notre Dame just steamboated them.
Yeah. Do want to just touch on real quick the Navy turnovers. They had six.
Mike,
and they weren't even like, oh, good job, Notre Dame. Most of them, I mean, Leonard Moore had the brilliant pick. This drive chart only shows 4, but they had the muff, right? So I guess the 2 muffs, right? 2 muffs won't show up here because they weren't technically a drive.
Yeah,
but just yikes. They definitely made this game pretty easy on the Fighting Irish. But then, to Notre Dame's credit, they rolled. They rolled, Tim. I mean, Notre Dame took advantage of opportunities.
Believe me, I've been there as a coach. Yeah, exactly. When you get those opportunities and you don't capitalize on them, then obviously the game becomes close and whatnot. But when you're the better football team and you get that extra possession and you just go right down on them and score, that's a damn good football team. And that's exactly what Notre Dame was. And it could also be, hey, you know what? Navy's not in these games often, right? They don't play a lot of ranked games in the last 50 years, let's say, since Roger Staubach was there. So these are dime a dozen actually for their program. So maybe they're a little nervous. Obviously, they talked about the quarterback and his little thumb injury, but some of those, just look like bad snaps. Maybe they were wet in the bed, right? A little bit of nervousness. The pitch was there like all day. I'm surprised they didn't run more pitches, but they obviously had a couple turnovers on those today. But I think a lot of it is Navy, but also the pressure of playing Notre Dame. We talk about this so much when Notre Dame loses to an NIU, a South Florida, teams of that nature, obviously in Marshall. Notre Dame is the one that gets tight and feels that pressure. Where today is probably a little bit of Navy, and then Notre Dame's athletes just took over once again.
Yeah. Riley Leonard, Tim, started real hot. I mean, 7 of 7. Cooled off, a little bit, but the damage was done. His at least passing last throw that he completed was that 37-yarder to Bo Collins. We'll take a look at that in a bit. But Leonard, 13 of 21, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and then on the ground, 10 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. I tweeted Tim that he is, and I can't believe that Notre Dame fans were disagreeing with me on it. he's a completely different quarterback than we saw early September, right? NIU. I mean, the A&M game, I thought Leonard, all things considered, had a good game. Was it pretty? No. But at A&M, you think the offense is going to look pretty? First game? Hell no. So I thought Leonard played fine against A&M, but NIU, Miami, Ohio, I was like, man, is this guy it? Louisville was up and down. And then, but now, Tim, a month later, this is the Riley Leonard that you envisioned, right? When you're like, all right, Riley Leonard's going to come in here. When he plays well, this is it. Man, there are times, Tim, where there's nothing happening and he gets outside the pocket and he runs. You're like, that is why you brought Riley Leonard in right there. And he's really good at what he does when he's clicking like this. And he has been for the past few weeks. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was 12 to 12 at one point last week, right? Or 11 for 12 and then started to cool off a little bit. But yeah, I mean, even when he does cool off, it's just him throwing crappy passes, which he will do at times. And but yeah, you're right. This is the Riley Leonard. Him, you cannot, as a defensive coordinator, it is just horrible to try and defend a guy like him because you may count because there were times today where Navy was dropping 8. Hell, they dropped 9 on a play and just trying to flood zones and just match guys up the best they could. And Riley said, hell, I'm just going to scramble for 12. And
Yeah.
he could have done that so many damn times today. There was a few. I'm like, dude, Riley, don't even throw, just run. He probably could have had 200 yards rushing if he just said, screw it, I'm out of here. And because there were just giant lanes, and Navy doesn't have a dude that can spy him who even can try and control that at times on 3rd and 8. But no, you're right. The last couple of weeks have been him being Riley, him being the type of guy we saw in 2022, and get into a bye and just keep this thing rolling against Florida State.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned Faison. Really good to see him back. I pulled up that tweet on the screen for those folks watching on YouTube. Going in the game, he had 4 catches, 29 yards. Only had 2 games in which he actually had catches in. And he in and out of his breaks when he gets the ball in his hands, he just moves different. Faison looked great today. The passing offense. Austin, thanks for the super chat. Glad to be back, my friend. The offense passing plays of more than 15 yards. Notre Dame had 5 of them today, which was really nice to see. And then rushing plays of more than 10 yards, 6. Like that, these are the chunk plays that you need to have. And again, we will look at a few of them a little bit later in the video. Tim, wanted to touch on the O-line. So Billy Strouth, I guess, was available last week. Notre Dame decided not to play him. So help me if my memory's off, Tim. To start the year, it was from left to right. You had Knapp, Pendleton, Craig, Strouth, Wagner.
Yes.
Right? And then obviously Craig's gone down. Coogan's slid in there. But then on the right side, you had Spindler. Well, to replace Strouth, the injured Strouth. Well, they kept Spindler on that side, but took Pendleton out. And then had Strouth at the left side, which is a new position for him this season. So thoughts on that move, Tim? Were you surprised to see that pregame?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I don't know about pregame. I wasn't on Twitter or anything. I was out here raking the leaves. And
all right, when you saw it, Tim, were you surprised?
Yeah, snap one. As soon as I saw 74 running out, I was like, holy crap, they got Billy in. So that's good because I know he was somewhat available last week. That's been kind of a theme for Freeman. Like, if someone's available, they don't like to bring him back till the following week. They bring him in uniform, run around.
But, okay, let me phrase it like this then. Are you surprised they put him on the left side and pulled Pendleton instead of Spindler?
Oh, I'm not surprised because Rocco's been solid. Outside of one horrible blitz where Rocco's as slow as me trying to get off and pick a guy up, Rocco Spindler's been solid. He's been better on film. He's had better grades. He's had a couple games in the 70s, which is really damn good football for PFF. We talk all the time. And Pendleton's had his ups and downs. Pendleton got mauled last week against Georgia Tech. He killed drives just by himself. So, but all those reps, correct? Now you really got 3 starting guards. So you got Pendleton, Rocco Spindler, and Billy Strouth. So you play 2 out of who are your 2 best ones. And if someone asked me heading into this game, I would have said Billy and Rocco. Rocco based on what he has graded this season.
Tim,
So that was good.
kind of moving off topic. I tweeted this out before the game from the Blue and Gold Twitter account. What is your favorite kickoff time for Notre Dame football games? This isn't Eastern. These are the 4 slots that Notre Dame has played in recent years. This guy said actually 1:30, as in the old days before TV took over. All right, Kevin, we're not talking about the old days here. We're talking about in recent years. These are the 4 time slots that Notre Dame plays in. Noon, which is pretty rare. 2:30, which they're not playing a single game this year in 2:30, but that was kind of their NBC afternoon slot before NBC got the Big Ten. At least that kind of was the way it was trending the past few years. 3:30, which is the new slot, and then 7:30, which they only have one home night game all season, which is the FSU game in a couple weeks. So I put 12 p.m. I don't know why. I just wanted to vote to see the results, so I just picked 12. 345 votes. So if you guys want to put your take, please go to the Blue and Gold Twitter. Tweeted this out at 11:42 a.m. Eastern time this morning. 3:30 is the favorite, but it's pretty close. 17% for 12 p.m., 26% 2:30, 30% 3:30, 25% 7:30. I'm curious what you think on this, Tim. Do you have a preference? Or is there like a history thing? Oh, Notre Dame plays better in this window for you, or
hey, I don't give a damn as long
you
as
don't
they
care.
play good. Like today, I mean, no, I don't. Today is actually an excellent noon game because you're on the road. You got a bye week. I like noons because now I got my entire night free, which is going to be an unbelievable. Speaking of A&M, hosting LSU tonight for basically an SEC title bid. So that's going to be really nice. So I like getting the Irish out of the way and enjoying the rest of the day, especially when you have kids, right? When we get back together at 7:30, we know it's going to be a long night because it's the primetime NBC game. So they're going to suck in 600 commercials. So we'll go live on YouTube about 11:15 at night. So that's not going to be a fun one. But no, I'm cool with all of them. It's a good flow. It's a good flow when you look at it.
I'm either 12 or 7:30. I hate the mid afternoon, like the 2:30, 3:30.
I'll be honest, the old 2:30s, I know Notre Dame did it to have their own little slot. It drove me nuts, especially when you're watching, especially growing up in California, you get that 9 a.m. right after college game day, and you got a damn good game going on or whatnot, and you're like, son of a gun, I can't watch the end of it. Notre Dame's kicking off. So how it's flowing now, there's none of that with all these TVs, man. It's batch. Everyone's got these batches now every 3.5 hours. So it's pretty nice.
Folks, we're going to hear from the sponsor for today's post-game show, and that is Roback, which just tremendous gear. And there's really one way to describe Roback. You got the best fit and best feel. If you're not familiar with Robacks, strap in because they are completely changing the game with their incredibly comfortable activewear. Roback has a new licensed game day collection, and Tim and I love it. We both got some of their gear and our love rocking it all the time. I just wore my I'm looking at it right now. This one down here on the left, this just Fighting Irish polo. I didn't want to wear it again because I just wore it for the Friday preview show video. But man, this is probably, I get compliments all of the time when I wear this shirt, and you will too when you wear it, folks. Novel polo designs and clean hoodies and Q-zip designs for your favorite team. Roback is definitely worth checking out. Can you find some things that are, going to be cheaper? Yeah, but they look like crap and they're not going to last you a long time. Roback will. Their stuff, folks, it really is incredible. No one else on the market is pairing these level of custom designs with this quality of activewear. You also can pair these awesome Notre Dame tops with some neat everyday shorts. Perfect pairing. Very comfortable, elastic waistband, great fabric that is made to have the appearance of a nice short, but the comfort of an athletic short. Roback has been proudly leading the NIL charge. So when I complain about NIL, it's not this. When you see guys like Audric Estime, Kyle Hamilton, Michael Mayer, Riley Leonard, and Ben Morrison being sponsored by Roback, that is what NIL is supposed to be. Not pay for play. It is that. So it is pretty neat seeing Roback be very involved with players on the Notre Dame roster these past couple years. It is the go-to brand for college athletes. And you're going to use the promo code BlueGold20. So when you go to rowback.com, you'll get a 15% off flash ad across the screen. But with BlueGold20, that's one word, BlueGold20 on rowback.com, you're going to get a generous 20% off if you're a new customer. RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all performance polos, shorts, and more with code BlueGold20. All right. Thanks to our sponsors over at Rowback. I've gone through most of my notes already for this show, Tim. I did want to touch on Jeremiah Love real quick because he is always a talking point with his usage. You walk away from this one, he has 12 receptions, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had the 64-yard run, which really boosted his stats. And then he had the one catch on the screen for -2 yards.
Yeah.
13 touches, not a lot. 11 in the first half, Tim. 11 of his 13 touches in the first half. I was watching that game and be like, I felt like Mike Denbrock or Dylan McCullough. These guys read the press clippings. They were like, let's get J Love the football. Did you feel that?
Oh yeah, I mean he's the best athlete on the football field, so there's no one that could match up with him. Yeah, I mean they were trying to highlight him. The screenplay, it's like, my God, everyone and their mother knew they were going to throw that. They keep doing that. It's do something different with Love in the passing game, for crying out loud. That's what I'm dying to see. But no, he's electric. I mean, his one run was nice. He had some really good physical runs. I mean, Notre Dame was, what is that, about almost 80% run game efficiency in the first half alone. They were, because I talked about that in my pregame show, not allowing Navy to cause havocs, TFLs, things of that nature. And the run game, I mean, they were just hammering them. If it's 3rd and 2, they got 4. 1st and 10, they were picking up 7, 8 yards multiple times. So very, very efficient football game from the offensive line, and obviously Love and Riley Leonard himself. So no, but I was the same way watching him. They're like, yeah, they're giving him the ball a little bit more, and then the third quarter, they only had the ball once and he's done. His time's done. There's zero need to play him anymore. So that was nice. There's gonna be a time, maybe SC, where he's gonna have to touch that ball 20 times in a game and just be like, bam, you guys match up with me and see how you do it. So looking forward to seeing when that happens, because he's just electric, man. He's so nice. And then on that touchdown run, what I love is trips, man. Once again, Notre Dame, the last 2 weeks, they haven't done this all year, where they're doing more wide splits with the wide receivers, getting their butts out of there and just saying, can you match up with Jeremiah Love one-on-one in the box? And it's hard. So I hope they keep doing more of this. Obviously, when they bring a tight end, it's for extra chip, extra edge protection, things of that nature. But man, when they go a true, it's not 10 because they always have a tight end, but you know what I mean, a true spread 4 wide concept, they're tough. And to win a game, keep winning down the road, especially to get in the playoffs and have to play one of these big boys, you have to spread teams out and just try and match up Jeremiah Love on somebody. That's what I'm expecting.
Let's talk defense, Tim. Jalen Sneed, Jack Kaiser, both having 9 tackles. Adon Schuler, very much in the mix. Sneed got himself a touchdown.
Yeah.
Schuler, he had a fumble recovery? Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Scoop, they almost had the scoop and score, and they got him right there at the end.
Right. And I believe that was in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. What'd you think about defensively, Tim? I mean, again, Navy just quite literally handed the ball to Notre Dame several times, but defense still played pretty well.
Yeah, great pick by Leonard Moore there at the end. They had some of the other turnovers. Tuli Alamaka was, they started talking about him in the second half. He was nice. But some of my notes right away is boom. They did not rotate today. They're like, you're our defense, go play. We barely saw Obin. He played a few snaps. Bryce Young didn't play until the guys were getting in the parking lot. We never saw number 30. It was Burnham, Junior Tuli Alamaka as the 2 ends. And then the linebackers today, they started Osbury at Rover. So Osbury got the start with Bowen and Kaiser inside. And as far as linebackers goes, they just interchanged. Sneed played Will. Sneed played Rover. He was all, running around all over the place. But those guys stayed the same. Only saw the 3D tackles. Rubio rotated in. Mills and Cross played a ton. But I think going back, that's the experience. They were not going to allow Navy to do anything. They kept those vets out there. So I like that. I like seeing the main guys that they trusted played all the snaps, and the same in the secondary. They did nickel at times. They got gashed a few times at nickel. You could tell Navy checked into a few things when they saw Clark on the field, how they were matching up with that. But no, defense, those dudes flew around. Navy got some chunk plays. The quarterback keeper was it's crazy. The motion, Osbury ends up at free safety. That's never a good thing. Kaiser gets his butt kicked on a reach block. Watts goes underneath the block, and it's me and you running. So that quarterback was wide open. God, what else am I? Schuler stands out just because he does. He just stands out. Ever since he's got the half shirt mic, he stands out. He just looks like a different dude out there.
Tim,
he's fun to watch.
Schuler and Watts, that safety pairing,
has been
as good as or the best Notre Dame safety pairing since, like, you want to go Kyle and Kyle Hamilton and just anyone he played with, really, but still, like, Watts and Schuler. I mean, they are so good. Schuler, I mean, when Schuler was a recruit, was a 3-star from New Jersey. He committed to Notre Dame over like Rutgers and Penn State.
Yeah.
And then Georgia offered him, and Ohio State offered him, and he stuck with his Irish commitment. Didn't take other visits. Solid. Saw him at the All-American Bowl. Just okay. Just kind of a fine week. No flash. Nothing bad. I mean, I thought he would be good, but this good this soon? Adon Schuler, Drake Bowen, two of the surprise. Not really surprise. I don't like saying surprised him because we thought they would be good, but I think it's this good this fast and Bowen didn't. I mean, he got 5 tackles, but I don't remember seeing Bowen around a ton.
Yeah, it's tough because they run the dive. There's 17 guys in the box. It's just it's a monster.
Still, those two right there from that 2023 recruiting class for the Irish really stand out sophomores this season.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised if Schuler just had a little chip on his shoulder too, right? You get Rod Hurd.
Trash. Thank you for the super chat. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get Rod Hurd coming in, you get Jordan Clark coming in, you get some of these safety, elder statesmen coming in. Schuler's a redshirt freshman, so, and everyone just kept saying, well, Rod Hurd. Even Freeman always mentioned Hurd in the spring. Oh, we get Rod Hurd back. I think Schuler just said, screw you. I'm gonna play my tail off. I'm gonna force you to sit me.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't. And he has been outstanding. So yeah, some of these guys have been stepped up. I do have to say, man, Christian Gray, holy moly, was he bad today? He was just, could be the motions, whatever. The hold was horrible. The PI got beat. I mean, we're like, if those were a couple wide receivers that had a couple steps, he probably gets torched for a couple touchdowns. So he did not look himself out there today. How's that? So other than that, guys, there's a lot of big positives, but defensively, I just liked how they came out. They played their base guys. You're our ringleaders. Go kick butt. Now, some of the turnovers, obviously, they had a lot of rest, so that helps as well. But that was a big positive for defense in that first half.
Okay. Cowboys says most relaxed I've been watching a Notre Dame game this season.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy. Yeah, I mean, from that with Notre Dame, I get nervous because, like, right away, if Notre Dame scores that first drive, I'm like, all right. I think, especially in a game like this where they should win big, if they start hot, I feel good. But Tim, we talked about in the preview show. I was like, man, that Navy plus 3.5 first quarter spread, that's probably a good play because of how Notre Dame comes out in a lot of these games. But that was not the case today. Again, Navy stunk. No doubt about it. Horvath played his ass off, but Navy stunk. His 47-yard touchdown run, I believe it was that was great. He had that other long run. he played his butt off, but Navy just those turnovers are
Turnovers.
they stunk. But still, Notre Dame, they came out hot. So I'm with you on that commenter. Like the Irish, they just when they come out and they look good early, like okay, they're not sleepwalking. Notre Dame has not. That NIU game was a huge wake up call, and they've been cruising pretty well since. So yeah, another nice win, Tim. I'm, bye week.
Yes.
Gonna hang out. FSU, huge recruiting event. Super pumped for that. Notre Dame. Someone on the message board posted this week, Tim, why do we not have that many big recruiting weekends? And it's for kids traveling across the country, coming from the East Coast to the Midwest, to the West Coast to the Midwest. It's difficult to get there for a 3:30 game. Not a lot of people are able to do it, but for a 7:30 game, and again, Notre Dame only has one primetime home game this season.
Yep.
I would have liked to see Louisville at that 7:30, or I guess that's the only other one that would have made sense. It's good. It's good for Notre Dame to have more primetime games for recruiting to get these kids in. So FSU game is going to be absolutely massive. But yeah, Tim, it's a good feeling. Big win going into a bye week.
Yeah, I mean, this is where, but these are the expectations as well. It's like this was not a Notre Dame team that people thought were going to go 9-3. It's like this is right where you were. Obviously, NIU changed it, but that's Notre Dame's fault. They're the ones that didn't show up that day and play their butts off and played lazy, sloppy. Leonard gets hurt, and and they quit, and they basically took him out of the offense, which obviously killed the run game. Got gashed by NIU, killing the clock. So, yeah, you say it's a wake-up game. Those guys just didn't. That was a hangover game. We talk about these all the damn time, and some teams win those hangover games. Some just fold at the end, which obviously Notre Dame did. But ever since then, yeah, it's like you have to win, or you're once again going to the freaking Pop-Tarts Bowl. So it's pretty easy as a coach to be like, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want to do this season? Every year's its own different world. Every year's got its own book written. And how do you guys want to go? And this team has rebounded and just, it's playing its tails off ever since then. It's gotten its legs under, pretty much ever since Miami of Ohio. It was a little sloppy-ish game, but since then, Louisville was a dogfight. Big win by Louisville last night. They're down by 20-something, came back to beat BC on the road. So that's a nice little strength of schedule for ND. SC's going to be tough. I don't think SC's going to lose. They don't leave the West Coast. So they win in Seattle next week. The rest of the time, they're at home. They're in Los Angeles the rest of the year. So that'll be a fun game. But, yeah, they're right there. I mean, we always talked about home game, playoffs. Really nothing's changed, right? You just keep winning, keep moving forward. And this schedule is just lining up perfectly for Notre Dame to have an 11-1, which we don't want to talk about but it's right there in front of them. It's seriously right there in front of them.
Okay. Just sorry, Tim. I didn't listen to a single word you just said. I was reading the chat.
Yeah.
Someone's arguing about Ohio State. Like, guys, I don't care.
Who cares about Ohio State?
Sneaking by.
Yeah, and that's what happens in college football. People sneak by, for crying out loud.
Yeah, no, it happens.
It happens. Not every game we're going to win by 32.
Sneaking by is fine.
You can play
Oregon.
Hold on a second. Nebraska was pissed off today. I just saw the score. I didn't watch any of it. They got boat raced last week. Matt Rule's a damn good football coach. Got those guys fired up, motivated to go on the road. But we were just talking about emotions, right? Notre Dame just thought they could show up, play with their eyes closed and beat NIU. Ohio State probably felt the same way today. I didn't watch any of the game. I just saw the score. So they were down and they woke up, go right down the field and score. So, it is what it is. Those things happen. It's college football.
You know what you would – again, Oregon.
Winning.
They beat Idaho by 10 points. Idaho.
They only beat Boise by 3. Now, Boise's solid, don't get me wrong, but it's Boise State, right? With all that talent Oregon has, they only beat Boise by 3.
Yeah. So it's like it's college football.
Yeah.
But you got to get the win. That's what Notre Dame didn't do.
It's the same thing like with Ohio State. I love Notre Dame fans. It's funny, man. Notre Dame fans love to go after Ohio State. I don't say crap, Mike. You know why? Because Notre Dame don't beat them. So how the hell is anyone saying anything about Ohio State?
TJ Brown.
It absolutely cracks me up how everyone, oh my God, Ohio State's so soft. I'm like, yeah, but they beat Notre Dame twice in the fourth quarter. So I don't say anything. So I just stay away from all those stupid conversations. But the object of the game is the win, and you just keep moving forward. And those on the playoff committee, they all have brains. They all know what happens where some teams are going to have little pitfalls and things of that nature. So win. I mean, we said at the beginning of the year, 11-1 Notre Dame is going to get a home game. Notre Dame is exactly right there.
I don't think I said that before the start of the season.
11-1? 11-1 was always going to get you a home game.
No, 11-1 is going to get you in.
It's going to get you a home game. It's how the hell was Notre Dame not going to get a home game at 11?
We'll see. It just depends. I don't know. Tim, this is the first year of the 12-team playoff. I don't know how the committee is going to view some of these things. I don't know. I think they will I think they'll be in the 8-9 game. And I think they'll be in the 8, but I don't think 11. It's like a guarantee. I do like your optimism.
Obviously, there's no, but it's like, let's be real. There's going to be upsets coming up.
Yeah,
ahead.
probably.
When you're 11-1 Notre Dame, they are. I know it's NIU, and the schedule is what it is. It's ranked in the 50s this week, but not everyone's playing top 10 schedules for crying out loud. The only team that's ranked that has a hard schedule has been really Alabama at the top 15. Everyone else is pretty, ups and downs. Hell, Indiana was coming into today. Indiana had the 100th ranked college football schedule, 100. So, and they could go 11-1. But how does that schedule look to the committee? Correct. So there's just so much football to be played. Enjoy it. I'm fired up, excited as hell.
Yeah. Thoughts on the two bad calls?
What bad calls?
I don't really want to talk about it, but the chat's been wanting us to. The Wagner hold, and then the Kings holding calls.
He held him. He is holding him. It's like he didn't have to hold him. Emil Wagner's been. Hold on, I'll take 12 seconds on this. Emil Wagner's been the most boring, steady, efficient, boring in a good way. People.
Yeah.
Efficient offensive lineman there is all year. Emil Wagner's been absolutely awesome. I'm going to just put my right hand out. I'm going to ride your ass 10 yards past the quarterback.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it on that one. His hands were all wrapped up, and it happens, man.
Yeah. I agree with Tom. He just said the Wagner was, it happens. It happens. It's fine.
He hasn't done it all year.
The KVA roughing, though, Tim.
Dude, by the way, just before we get into negative, the positive, did you see how close KVA came to picking off a running back screen?
Yes.
The ball was 1 inch lower, dude. He picking that damn thing off. He read that was amazing. Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, there's a play on the Leonard Moore interception. I didn't rewatch it, but it looked like Mills or somebody just destroyed the quarterback. And I was like, oh crap, they're going to call roughing on that one. And they did it. So, I am the beholder on certain plays. But hey, it didn't cause him to do anything. But the Wagner one was, if anything, as a coach, I was more pissed. I'm like, dude, he just got lazy, got a little lazy instead of just using that right arm and posting him out a little bit better.
Yeah, the KVA one is like, it's very ticky-tacky, obviously. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Sometimes in football now as a defender, it's like, play defense, but you gotta you can't play too hard. I don't know. When it comes to the sideline hits and some of these quarterback tackles, it's like, I don't know. You're supposed to read the quarterback's body language and figure out how to hit him. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's wacky now, dude.
As long as college football doesn't go to the ridiculous quarterback rules in the NFL, we'll be okay.
Well, they kind of did for that one, right?
Yeah. It's just just don't do it all the time, right? There's one last week. A guy just clearly sacked him. It was rough. It's like, how the hell is that roughing? It was at the Sunday night game. It was so bad. But it's like the Christian Gray, the PI on Christian Gray. At first, I thought it was a hell of a play, and then when you see the other angle, his arms up inside of his jersey holding him, it was so bad. It's like, dude. So, they Notre Dame had a few calls. It happens.
You know what my favorite segment of television was growing up, Tim, was you just got jacked up. Yeah, that don't fly anymore. You can't.
No,
All right.
no, the Ronnie Lott and Kenny Easley from the '90s destroying people over the middle. Yeah, you don't get some of those. But trying to look over a few more of my notes here. I will say, what was I going to say? Tight end. It was Reardon dropped an easy one. Obviously, Evans is just so nice. I wish they looked. I mean, you've been talking about this for 9 weeks. I feel like. Just not looking for him. They did today. They got him on the crosser on a third down today, so that was nice to see.
Yeah. I remember one instance where Greg McElroy was like circled Evans. It was like 3rd and 7 or something. Like circled Evans. Like, here's the guy to watch. I'm thinking to myself, you haven't studied enough tape, Greg, because you know what Evans did on that play? He blocked. He blocked. He helped out in pass pro. He did fine, but it's this ain't Tommy Reese's Notre Dame offense. That's for sure in terms of him calling plays.
How about Jeremiah Love? I wrote this down because they've been talking about it the last few weeks. 8 straight games with a rushing touchdown.
8 straight.
Second in the country.
Every single game. Yeah. It's impressive. Second, I'm guessing, to the Boise running back.
Yeah, probably. That guy's impressive as hell. It's got to be him, right? That guy scores every freaking time. Yeah, it's got to be him. But that's nice, Jeremiah Love, and he got 2 today, so that was really nice there. Just going, here it is. Navy fumbles. It's like going over some of my notes. What's this one, Mike? I know it doesn't really matter. The goal remains the same. Yes, went out. But do you think the Irishers are top 10? I'm not getting into this top 10. It's like I don't know how they get in top 10. They were 12, and Iowa State and Clemson, who are ranked ahead of them, or have a bye. So I don't know how Notre Dame jumps up.
We'll see if all the people in the AP poll actually remember to include the Irish. I don't know, dude. We'll see. Yeah, I don't care about the AP poll. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It means nothing.
It does matter. It does matter. It's a ranking, so it does matter.
But no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of this season, Tim, which is.
Well, of course not, because we don't have
go host a home playoff game. So the AP poll doesn't matter.
Of course not in the whole grand scheme, but as of right now, this is what we have. And the playoff committee's not like it. They're 5 spots off with the rankings. You know what I mean? Like, they're pretty consistent with whoever's in that top 10 is the top 10 of the playoff committee. So they do go kind of hand in hand, once it gets going. So at least for now, them being 12, I don't think they're going to, like BYU is number 11. They're up 7-0 right now in the first quarter. So, and then I saw Iowa State, Clemson are 9 and 10. They have a bye, and I don't think I'm just scrolling real quick on the top 10. Hopefully the Horka Texas guys lose and Vanderbilt will knock them out. Sorry, Tyler, if you're listening. Yeah. I can't make fun of the Fighting Sobels anymore since they're so far down in the rankings. So,
and do they deserve top 10?
Let me ask you this.
I don't know.
How about this, Mike? If Texas A&M beats LSU, how's A&M not a top 10 team? Right?
And then can you put A&M over Notre Dame? I don't know.
Who's played the tougher schedule, right? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Think of that. If 11-1 Texas A&M, 11-1 Notre Dame, but Texas A&M wins the SEC. Who's ranked higher, right?
A&M's got a better boss. I don't know. But Quentin, I do appreciate the super chat. I will stand on that. I don't care about the AP poll. If anything, I would take the coaches poll over the AP poll.
The coaches poll hold on. I've heard you say this, and I
say it on our show.
I know, and I've heard you even say it with Goolsby. The coaches poll is atrocious. It is historically atrocious.
Right, because they rank Notre Dame higher. They actually have Notre Dame at 11 instead of 12. I guess all the coaches actually put Notre Dame in it. That helps.
I'm just saying, historically, the coaches poll, everyone knows, has always been a farce. Sports information directors usually do it. So it's always been.
Dude, I would take what an SID thinks with input of his staff than everyone at the guy at the San Diego Gazette or
the
the
guy that follows
Charleston Times and
Yeah. Hold on. The reporter that follows college football. Okay. Come on. Sports information. Hold on. You said something that cracks me up.
They're covering their team. They're covering their team. They don't have time to watch all these other games.
The sport, dude, that's all they do is follow college football. The sports information director is not taking a poll from a coaching staff on where to rank them.
I didn't say that. I said if they got input. Yeah. I officially still Marcus Freeman's filling out his own poll.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's working tirelessly on that thing.
Right. Ryan, thank you for the $10 super chat. If you want to directly fund me, super chats don't send me super chats for this, but I appreciate.
You got it on your Twitch. You have a Twitch diaper fund when you're playing games. If you started one, that's what you need to do. You need to start one of those. Play the NCAA football for diapers.
Yeah, but Ryan, I appreciate the $10 super chat, my friend.
Yeah, a couple little notes real quick. I wrote Max Pro down. Some Max Pro on some of those deep passes today. So that was nice. Once again, Denbrock just being like, hey, we're going to flood this because Navy historically wants to blitz the hell out of people. We saw them bring 6-7 a few times. So I thought Denbrock did a really good job today, motioning, chipping some things, and then keeping the tight end running back in for Leonard to go chuck that thing down the field sometimes today.
You know what we didn't hear much about, Tim? The ESPN playoff predictor.
Oh,
I set the over-under at 16.5, and it hit the under.
Last week was 63. They started today. It was 59.
Okay, so great question. You know what happened after Notre Dame's game against Georgia Tech? Other games happened that impacted the playoff predictor. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, I saw the same thing. I'm like, oh God, I'm not even getting into this damn thing. And they posted it a few more times. I didn't.
Yeah, because other outcomes impacted. That actually makes sense. But
that does make sense.
Do you want to talk some film, Tim?
Sure. Whatever you got.
I got three.
Sure. Let me look at these real quick.
All right. So this is I'm excited to get to Jeremiah Love's touchdown run, but this is Chris Mitchell. Is this Chris Mitchell's second touchdown or first?
Could be a second. I don't have the year stats on me. No, this is nice. A little short motion. And
let me get the correct stuff on that real quick. Chris Mitchell. Let's see.
He's got to have one, right? Earlier in the year.
No. Oh, yeah. I had the touchdown against Stanford. So he came into the game 13. No, this is updated, I think. But anyways, yeah. So that's his second touchdown. So yeah, Tim, let's talk about this one. What'd you see?
Yeah, a little short motion. We used to call this scissors, where you just flip each other. Inside goes out, the outside goes in. It's just they just total miscommunication.
Yeah, both Navy guys went with who's that? Greathouse?
Yeah, it's Greathouse down there.
Cover zero. I mean, they brought the house.
Yeah, they're heating a great blitz with the running back. That's Price, right?
Yeah.
I wrote down at least three off the top of my head I have on my notes where Price was unbelievable. And he did not play a lot early in the year because of pass protection issues. Even last year, he didn't do that. Now, obviously, last year he was coming back, but that really stood out to me today was seeing 24 pass block. He looked like he's been working his ass off on that. So that's really good. But yeah, excellent protection there. Right there. See, there's Wagner. Wagner's been a stud, guys. Wagner's been a stud. Just easy. Look at both hands shoot out. Look at the length right there. That guy can't move at all.
He looks huge. That was such a concern with him. He needed to gain weight. He looks big.
I thought Knapp looked big. It looked like he'd been eating mashed potatoes too. I thought they all looked big. They had a couple close-ups today. Schroff looks like he weighs 325, so he probably does now after the ankle injury, right? Riding the bike and eating, sandwiches nonstop. He's huge, man. I love seeing him out there when he came out because he's just a physical presence. But Wagner does not look like a guy who's going to struggle to carry weight, right? He looks like he's getting bigger. And
he looks bigger than 291, dude.
Dude, yes. I agree with you.
Okay, Eric says, did you hear the broadcaster say Marcus Freeman shows NIU tape every week? I did not hear that. Do you guys like that or love that? I didn't. I did you hear that? I must have missed. Maybe I changed 2 diapers during the show or during the
Yeah,
during the
my
game.
kids are actually at a Halloween thing right now, so I was getting them ready as well. If they said it was near the end of the game, I was watching on my phone, setting up to come up here and hang out with you guys. But if he is showing it, maybe it's just the end. Maybe it's just a celebration to constantly remind his team, hey, focus every week. Marcus Freeman's a big win the interval. If you've ever heard him talk about that, it's just win in between each play is what he's trying to stress. Like, get your mind ready. Don't worry about whatever. Get it ready before that next snap. Win that, those few 30 seconds before the next snap mentally. So he's all about that, which brought me back to Wagner because, you could get pissed off and down and on Wagner's holding call, and you could see Emil, they had a close-up right on his face, and he looked like he had just, boom, wash it out of my system, next play. And so that's just a little Freeman philosophy that he does. So if he is showing that, I think it's a constant reminder of every game, right? We're showing up every game from here on out.
Eric and Ryan, again, appreciate the super chats. All right, let's see. We got J Love's touchdown here. So you had called this a draw.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back. They have done this again the last couple of weeks. Remember, they did this a handful of times because you run the out route. It's an RPO. You run the out route with number 3. I think it's Flanagan. Flanagan did, and they ran these a couple times in the A&M game. Then they got away from it. They have brought it back the last 2 weeks, and it is so successful because, once again, look at the box, Mike. There's only 5 dudes in there. Run it back to the beginning. You see that? And everyone picks up a guy. It's a hat on a hat. And Jeremiah Love, good luck. I wish we had the end zone copy that ABC had was perfect.
Yeah.
You see right there, Coogan and Rocco combo.
Is that Coogan right here? Is that Coogan right here, Tim?
Yes, they double the nose. Coogan starts to see the mic come forward. Coogan releases.
That's so good.
Look at that block. It's awesome. Great job by Billy and Knapp on the left side. They just fan their guys out, create a hole. So the action's a dive, and I think he's counting a box right there, how it's only 5 guys, and you can see his eyes are looking at the guy over Flanagan. He drops, boom. It's 5 on 5. You always want to hand off.
Okay, so on this, does Leonard have any option to throw here, or is this a pure run? Okay, so this is you're calling this an RPO draw?
Oh yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I mean you can see it; they're all pass blocking.
Yeah, they're pass blocking, and then
if he wanted
Coogan goes and meets him
on the boundary. Just for example, on the boundary, if that corner's playing 8-9 yards off,
he's throwing it. Yeah,
he's playing inside shade, and then he's reading the guy over Flanagan. That's what they're doing in the true RPO. He's reading the guy over Flanagan. If that guy jumps in the box, boom, you could throw the quick out to Flanagan right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is what they looked for in the A&M game a couple times. And that was Price's big touchdown play right there.
Okay. And then one more. # talk your shit, Bo. Oh, boy. Bo Collins. Just a couple of receptions, but 2 for 42 and a touchdown. This was nice.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Had a nice one earlier.
Just Bo Collins running by 2 defenders.
No,
nice throw.
And the announcer said it perfectly, right? That corner was looking inside, right? It's 1st and 10, run tendency. Notre Dame crosses, they're inside the 40 right there. You watch the corner. Knife, boom, gone. But hey, real quick, shoot, I got this on my notes. We don't see it from the beginning. This was an audible. So they obviously had a play called. Riley checked. He looked over the Denbrock, which they have done a handful of times with me, the old, check with me system. So, and then Riley checks the call, checks. Bo Collins adjusts his stance. Boom. He knows it's a one-on-one. We're going up top.
Is this? I'm just trying to read if this is a zone or a man. Like the linebackers look like it's zone. And it looks like that if that's like a cover 2 look, that safety just was like, you're not throwing it deep. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, if it is a cover 2, you see how they're all run.
It does look like man.
Audible.
The
So
way
they
the
must have-
corner turned, you don't put your back
exactly.
towards the quarterback
Yeah.
in zone.
Mike, maybe Connor Stallions is helping them. They saw something right from the hand signal. They check thinking it's a run. How many times do we see Michigan safety screaming in the alley, right? Maybe that's what it was on this one. I'm joking, obviously. But nice ball, easy touchdown, a hair underthrown, which is O'Reilly's special, right? It's like,
Yeah, hair underthrown, but it went 44 yards in the air. I'll take
which
it.
might be his max, right? Have you seen a 50? I think we've seen 150. He probably pulled a rib ligament doing it, but he's right there. He's right there. No, that was a hell of a play.
Craig, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Joel Klatt took Navy. Hey, Craig, nice profile picture, brother. We're
got the Dolphins.
we're fins up over here, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Tua, I personally think Tua should hang him up, but I'm glad he's playing because we need him. Anyways,
let me take a few seconds on Kedra.
Yeah.
I have not, because I know he played in a couple other games and some of the
10 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
and some of the garbage minutes. I didn't really see that until I watched the rewatch. I've never really talked about him setting up for the show. I made sure I watched him today. That's a good looking dude, man.
Aeneas played well. Aeneas has been playing well.
Me personally, I like Aeneas, man. There's something about him. There's something about his mannerism, his whole body language, the way he moves. He's physical, and he's the third freaking back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like, how nice is that? That's your third back.
They are Kyron and Audric 2.0. They are. I really, really believe that.
Now, Love is obviously
they're both good.
Oh yeah. Now Love has one more year. I'm me personally as a Notre Dame fan. I'm just nervous about. You still need to keep these guys coming in. You know what I mean? I don't know about if Thurman's at their level as a true running back. That's just my opinion. So hopefully they can steal somebody out there. Because Love's going to be gone. Price is going to be a senior. Payne's going to be a senior next year, right?
Well, okay, Love's got another year. He's a sophomore.
No, I'm saying after next year.
After
25. After 20. I'm saying if Payne comes back, he'll be a senior, even though he has a red shirt and all that.
Yeah, I wonder if
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think recruit always gets me going, man. Bring in two studs. Hopefully they can steal somebody.
Yeah, I think someone will transfer out. Payne would make sense.
Oh, they have to. They have to. Somebody does. I mean, I love
because Ford's the only one who on paper has to go. But
it's Ford,
yeah.
I know.
But yeah, I do think they're going to flip someone. And Thurman is a developmental guy, but he's got speed.
Well.
He's got speed.
He is legitimately fast.
Yeah.
Like fast as hell. Hit the ball outside type of fast. So, but yeah, I mean, which is a good thing, right? I mean, when you recruit a few years. Not that it's a dip, but you don't need a freshman right away unless something drastic happens. But just keep them coming because Young's going to be a guy. Because he's now playing in a couple of games. One thing, just real quick, I noticed on the O-line, Gerby Lambert didn't play, so I instantly just thought of they don't want to play him. You know what I mean? They're going to redshirt him, so they probably didn't want to burn a game. I think he's already been in 3, so they may be saving his 4th game for another game. You know what I mean, Mike?
Yeah.
Today was a road game, Navy. Ty Chan played that whole second half. So, and then Abson came in and played some right tackle. So that was just a little thing if someone even mentions hey, we didn't see Gerby Lambert. He's already been in, I believe, 3 games.
Yeah. Eric says Price could go pro. I mean, I wouldn't put it past it, It's like,
I mean, that was my prediction. I thought he was going to have a monster junior year. That was my prediction, just being off the cuff in May when there's nothing to talk about. But he can't. I mean, he won't be picked up if he's not going to be a 5th round draft pick. He has no film. He only has a film from this year, which 4 snaps today. But you know what I mean? Like injured role player last year.
1 game of more than 10 rushing attempts this season.
No, exactly. He's not a draft pick. He's talented as hell. I mean, I hope he stays as we talk about, because you just need bodies, man. You just never know in this freaking world.
I just want to end real quick on Jeremiah Love. The thing that is most impressive to me about him is his toughness. Like, because he just looks long and lean, and that he is the best running back on this team for just go get me 3 yards. Just power ahead. It's him, the one who looks the slightest. I don't know if you got to watch my show with Goolsby a couple weeks ago. Was it last week or the week before, where we looked at Dylan McCullough's running back room, and one guy looked the most different, and it was Jay Love, just because he just like longer and leaner. He just doesn't look like. But they're all like short and stocky, kind of looking like Dylan. Jay Love looks different, but he is so strong. Huge Jeremiah Love fan over here.
Well, that's why when they were recruiting him, I used to compare him to Josh Adams all the time because no one looked like Josh Adams either. And Love, Adams have that tall, long, like I've said this before. My favorite running back of all time is Eric Dickerson. That tall, long, athletic body that Josh Adams had, Dickerson obviously had, Jeremiah Love have. Just talented beyond belief. There's one play today, speaking what you just said, Mike, like 3rd and 2. And they ran duo, and Jeremiah Love, I think, closed his eyes, just didn't give a damn, and ran right straight ahead for about 3.5 yards on 3rd and 2. Just like, I'm going to get this first down, kill the, keep the chains moving. And hit that hole like a bullet to get those 3 yards and get that first down. So he brings it, man. He has been a stud on the runs. That's another thing real quick as we start to wrap up. They didn't use Riley Leonard at all today. He had one quarterback draw, which was called when they went to empty. Other than that, all his runs today were scrambles. We didn't see the QB sweeps, QB counters. We've seen 0 zone read keepers the last couple of weeks. So just keep that in mind as Florida State comes to town. They got a pretty good D-line. So as we get rolling on that, but Love will block his ass off.
Yeah.
He's going to be a stud in the NFL. I can't wait to watch that guy.
Yeah.
That's a couple years away.
Yeah. Notre Dame producing some big time running backs. Like Love's going to be making a lot of money. I don't know what he makes now in terms of NIL, but as a junior, that guy gonna be like Notre Dame's not going to be bringing in a transfer portal quarterback. Like maybe a lot of that money goes to Jay Love because just superstar. He is a superstar.
Which is interesting because he doesn't have obviously the massive numbers because of the carries and things of that nature. But his personality, the way he talks,
are still pretty damn good.
Yeah, but they're not national numbers because he's still the limited carries. I'm curious to see where he'll be. I like to look at the stats after the bye week, like after next Saturday. I want to see where Love is. He's up there with yards per carry. Notre Dame as a team is in the top 10, so he's got to make more people on the missed tackle chart that Tyler Hork is always posting from PFF. He made some dudes juke today, which was nice. So guy says 2nd round pick. Could be running backs. You never know.
No, 2nd round's too early for these days. And that's nothing against him. It's just
that's it. You just never know with running backs. Seriously, you just don't know. I mean, I don't even get running backs. If you get drafted, you're happy. That's the way it looks.
89 carries, 564 yards, 9 scores for Jeremiah Love this season, and then has added a receiving score as well. So I mean, we're what? That was game number 8, 564 yards. With the playoff game, potentially could be around 1,000, maybe 850, 900 yards. But what kills him is just like 6 carries. Like no games more than 14 carries, but that makes it tough. So
I think if he got to an 850 with his carries, because once again, it's as I talked about in the show the other day, him and Price are kind of like a combo. You know what I mean? Price didn't get a lot of carries because he was blocking his ass off, and Riley was scrambling all over. Which by the way, it's just real quick is they called a boatload of passes today because that was the game plan. They knew Navy was going to blitz, crowd the box, all those things. Boom, let's pass and let's get this thing out there, out on the perimeter and cause havoc. So I think that's why we saw so many passes, which is always smart against Navy, is make those guys match up so they don't just tee off on the run game. But Love's a dude, man. I think if he got to 850, I'd feel like a 1,200 type of a season.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That'd be pretty awesome with the 4 games left.
averaging 6.3 yards per carry, getting in the end zone a ton. Attempts per game only at 11. It's pretty impressive. So, well, Tim, that's going to do it for this show. Quinn, appreciate the $2 super chats. It's a congrats on the baby girl. My daughter she's 9 days old today. Notre Dame's 2-0 in that stretch.
2-0.
It's impressive. With 2 quality wins. Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our channel for more content. Just heard the baby crying, so I'm going to go check on baby singer and the mother and mother-in-law down there. Well, her mother. Anyways, appreciate you folks for watching. I'm going to edit a video Jack Sobel did. He was at MetLife Stadium. He was talking about the game. So I'm going to go do that so you can check out more. And then blueandgold.com. Go read up, see what's going on. Go to the blueandgold.com message board, the loose emoji board, and see what everyone is talking about on our message board. The promo code right now to use is JOIN50. That is that 50% off your first year of annual subscription over at Blue and Gold. Comes out to just $5 a month. It's billed annually, but just $5 a month out of your pocket. So go over to blueandgold.com. Use that promo code JOIN50. I'm pretty sure it's JOIN50. I could be wrong, but it like pops up when you go to the sign up page. So again, folks, hit that thumbs up if you have not done so yet. And as always, we will catch you next time.